Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. We're starting in the dark today. I wanted to figure out a way to show you the glow-in-the-dark paper and the embellishments that glow in the dark. So, my studio is a little dark at the moment, but I wanted to show you how this glow-in-the-paper works. It's really cool, and here's the ghosts, and this is a sheet of the glow-in-dark paper. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and turn all the lights back on so I can see what I'm doing, and then we'll get started. So bear with me for a minute, because I do need some lights. Come on, Smokey, come in. And we're going to play with the ghost set. Why not have a black cat? Okay, Smokey, you come in here and be a good girl. So, like I said, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. And thank you for joining me today. All the product I used, all the dimensions will be listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. And there's my email address. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I've got a very fussy kitten today. Smokey, you can be quiet. So this is the card we're making today. And it stands up like this. And as you see, the parts do clear. Now I didn't use the ghosts on this one, and we are going to use that. And we're actually going to change a couple things on this card. And I think I'm going to let the cat out here and see how she does here in a minute. Come here, baby. I can't play with you. I've got work to do. She's very fussy today. So let's get started. The front piece here is the piece that has the multiple panels and with the spotlight in it. And that's what I used, and I cut that out. And did a little trimming on it, and I'll give you those dimensions in there as well. So let me get my parts I need, because everything got rearranged on my desk here. But I really did want to show you that. So let's get our stamping done. We need our envelope. We need some glow-in-the-dark paper. And we need our piece of white paper. Okay, so you're going to need a piece of basic white that is 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. That's for the back. Of course, you need your envelope. And this is a piece of the glow-in-the-dark paper. Now, when you get this, you'll see one side is very smooth and the other side is rough. The rough side is the side that glows. So you want to make sure you're stamping on that side, okay? And I do need a mat. I know I have one around here somewhere. So we're going to start with our skeleton here first. Did you get a good seat? She's sitting right behind me now. This is basic gray. Make sure my skeleton's all inked up really nicely. And he'll fit right there. Now, this paper is a little different than regular cardstock. It's got texture to it, so hold it for a second and give it a chance to set into the paper. A little longer than you normally would, but it works really good. Embossing works good on this as well. So that's the gray we need. The other piece of gray we needed, and I already did it because I cut 2 of them, there's a little sign in here that says Bonjour, and I cut that out with the Stylish Shapes, this little one right here. And I already did that one. I did 2, so I figured I wasn't doing it again. Want to conserve as much of this paper. I'm only on 1 sheet of this paper so far. I'm trying to conserve as much as possible. So we'll set that aside and die cut him in a minute. The back of the card is going to be stamped in pumpkin pie. And this is our Happy Halloween. And it goes right up here at the top. And I believe that's the end of the pumpkin we need. Yeah. Then we need Starry Sky. Starry Sky, we are going to stamp. My first one had a dog. This one's going to have a kitty. Starry Sky kitty. I'll put him down here in the corner. Like that. And there's 2 bats. So I'm going to put a couple bats on here. And the other bat. And one more bat there. So that's the back of our card. Set that over there. And then the envelope's going to say "Boo to You" in Starry Sky. And that is all the stamping, unless I missed something. So now we need to do a little die cutting. So let's get little Cranky out here. I'm going to get all the parts to this. And I'm first going to grab my snips. Like I said, I'm conserving. You get, how many pieces in that pack? I'm not sure. You get 8 pieces of the glow-in-the-dark paper, but I want to conserve everything I can, so I don't want to waste it. So we got our skeleton here, and I'll line him up. And I'm just going to grab a Post-it here. Actually, I'm going to grab another Post-it. I have a couple in the garbage can, so I'll just grab one of those. And we'll cut our skeleton out. And there is our little skeleton. Now I'll keep that because I could get a little saying or a little bat or something out of that. Okay, so a couple more pieces we need to cut out is there's a little hat. And I didn't put shoes on my first skeleton, but I decided I thought I'd put shoes on the second one. So there's a little pair of shoes and his little beret and his scarf. And we need a little piece of basic black. Now there is a stamp to stamp this and the little thing and his little mustache, but I didn't want to stamp on that. I wanted to use little die cuts. Excuse me one moment. Smokey, you want to go? Okay, come on. Go on. She wants in here, then she gets very bored. So let's just get her out of here. And we'll die cut those. Now, after I looked at this, I thought, I want to make some changes to this. So I decided he should have some shoes. So we have a little beret and 2 pairs of shoes and a scarf. And that's all the die cutting. Let's get a little Cranky out of here. Getting all the little pieces done so that we can just build the card at one time. So first, let's get the skeleton and build him up. And I'm going to use glue dots for this. And you need either a black Stampin' Right marker or a black pin. And what I want to do, and I actually found the pin worked better than this. This was too thick. And I want to just put a little, represents the mustache in his, when you look at his face, when they stamp it, it's right here. You see his little mustache right there? But I'm trying to stamp it and not get those two pieces onto this did not work. So I just made a little mustache myself, which is fine. Just put a little curl up there. So it's not very big, just a little mustache. So let's build him up real quick. So here's this little beret. I'm gonna put it on the end here. He's going to be popped up on Dimensionals too, so we'll get some of that with the Dimensionals. Hang on here. There we go. And then his little scarf. I'm just folding this in half. And you could use a glue, but there's just such a little space to put glue or anything on him. There we go. A little piece sticking out. We'll tuck that in. And glue dots are a little on the forgiving side when you want to take and tuck them under something. Now, shoes. I had not put shoes on the other one. So, let's flip those over and put a glue dot on each of them. I was sitting there last night and I was thinking about this. And I thought, you know, I should have put shoes on him. So, the one today I'm changing. That's one thing, you make a couple cards, you think of ideas afterwards. So, one shoe here. Let's see how it fits over his feet here. Pretty good. I mean, all skeletons should have shoes, don't you think? And one like that. So there's our little skeleton with his shoes on. Okay, so we have the bonjour, we have the back, and we have the skeletons. The skeleton ready to go. So this piece, I told you that you cut out of the piece, it goes like this. You will need to trim it just a little bit, so it's 3 by 4 and 3/4, just so you knew what that size was. Okay, so let's make the base of a card. As soon as I find the piece of black cardstock. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the trimmer on this. You could use your scoreboard. And I am going to grab a little sip of water. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, just a standard size piece of paper, or card size, I should say. And we're going to score at 1 7/8. And she's clawing at the door, and we're going to ignore her now. Then we're going to do 3 inches, 5.5, and 6 5/8. And that's all the scoring. So we're going to fold this, go to the center, and this is going to fold like this, and this one is going to fold back. And this side will fold this way and back. And there's the base of the card. So while we got this here, let's go ahead and put the back on here. This one has 1/8 inch borders. You know, I don't always do 1/4, 1/8. I bounce around. So that's the back of the card. And you can print more panels if you wanted. And then we have 2 panels. Well, we do have 2 panels. There's the other one. That are 1 3/4 by 5 3/8. Just like that. And then this one here. Okay, so that folds like that. Next is this piece here. This the one we cut to 3 by 4 3/4. It's going to go in here. And I'm going to use my grid on my board here. I'm going to flatten this down. And it's going to go, so you've got about, 3/8 of an inch on either side. So it's pretty much in the center, and then a nice border here and here. So I'm going to put my fingers here. And I'm going to put my glue on here. Make sure your beam is going the right way. So it goes on like that. Figure this nice spotlight was there, so our little French skeleton should be out there so we could see him. Okay, now we need our little guy here. We're going to grab this and the bonjour. Bonjour. We're going to need big and large, big and small dimensionals for this. Put a couple little ones here on this because it is quite small. And we have a few areas we can use big ones. I'm going to use one. I'm going to capture his hat with his head. We can put one in his body here. Now we're to some little ones. You can put them, I don't need him all the way hooked down. I would like to get one on his feet. And with the shoes there, may just make it a little bit easier. Make sure I'm not showing. There's one. Sometimes with these little ones, you have to pick it up so you can see it, especially when they're black. Make sure that's not showing. And I think that should be enough. So we're going to put him here, like that. And then once he's been in the light for a while, and the light room's all dark, he will glow. And then our little bonjour. Actually, I need to move this one over a little bit because I'm going to let it hang off. And I'm putting it in a different spot than the one before previously. Yep, like that. So let's hang it off a little bit. Now the last one I used iridescent, I put iridescent rhinestones on it. And they look sparkly like stars, but I decided that I have bats on here, so I decided I was going to go ahead and stick a couple ghosts on this one. Doesn't need many, maybe one or two. Actually, I think he only needs one. We'll give him one bat too. We'll give him one of each. So it glows a little more. Now those bats, even in the light, they have a iridescence to them. They almost look like they're glowing in the light, but they really glow when it's dark, as you can see at the beginning of the video. And so that is our little Halloween card. And somewhere around here, his little envelope. So this is the first, this is the one we did today, and this is the one I did without the ghosts and without the shoes. And I put the sign up here where I put it down further on this one. So, you know, you could do it any way you wanted, but I thought putting some shoes on looked pretty cool. Something different. So, thank you for joining me. You all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.